Today, we're going to be looking at one of my side projects. And for my side projects, I like to work on the apps that I wish I had. Last year, I lost 15 pounds through a mix of calorie counting and exercising. There are a lot of great apps out there for exercising, but I struggled to find anything that I liked for calorie counting. So today we're going to take a look at what I think a solution would be. This is something that I'm very interested in building. So let's get started. I suppose I should preface this by saying that I am not a health professional in any way. I'm not a personal trainer in any way. This is based on my research and what worked for me. There's still legal things to figure out here, but I think today we can go through this process and the ideas behind it. The first thing that we're going to do is calculate your daily calorie burn. This is based on height, weight, and gender. This is something that exists already. Mayo Clinic has a calculator that does this. I think WebMD does as well. So we're not reinventing the wheel here. You just enter in these details, hit next. Okay, now we can see our daily calorie burn is 2,050 calories. That's of course an estimate. You will need to figure that out based on your own body. It's not an exact science. And our next goal is to figure out how many calories we want to cut per day. Most of my research, actually pretty much all of my research, recommended between 300 and 500 calories. If you cut too many, you risk affecting your metabolism long term. So I didn't want to go above that. You can, of course, customize this later to be any number that you want to be, but this is where I chose to start for this piece in the process. For us, for our purposes, we're just going to go in the middle. I think that's what most people will do. 400 is pretty aggressive. This is our calorie budget breakdown. So we get to see our burn and our goal. And that sums up to our daily calorie budget of 1,650 calories. Apps don't tend to do this type of thing to show how things work under the hood. These days, there's a lot of fascination by app builders with this idea of making it magical and mystical. But I like showing my work. And again, this is the app that I would want, and it's really for people like me. So we are going to show our work here, 1,650. Let's get started. That brings us to the heart of the experience. This is the screen that you will see at the beginning of every day. We've got our magic number up here, 1,650 calories, a couple of saved items here. And let's just go ahead and get started let's just pretend like we had a breakfast burrito, and we're going to just log that 240 calories. That sounds about right. And for posterity, we'll go ahead and type in breakfast burrito and save that. Now, in real life over here, I just had a chocolate croissant. I really like chocolate croissants. It's a guilty pleasure, I guess, but it's one of my favorite breakfasts. And let's go ahead and log chocolate croissant in here. Now, again, this is one of my guilty pleasures. I have them most days. And so rather than have to enter this every single day, I want to save chocolate croissant so that it's just easier to enter. So I'm going to click on the icon on the left, and it's saved my values. It saved my details that I already input, but we can go ahead and here and customize the icon and save this. And you'll see this now appeared under my saved items so that I can quickly add that every single day. Running is something that I like to do when I can. And so we're just going to go ahead and add a run in here as well so that we can have that ready when we go on a run. This is a pretty aggressive run. I went into a separate app and calculated the number of calories that would take. I have ideas for integrating AI with this experience in the future so that you don't have to leave the app. But for now, as I mentioned before, there's plenty of great exercise apps that help you do these things. We're just not focused on that today. Okay, so now we have our new running item here, and we're just gonna go ahead and add that to our list of things that we've done today. Pretend like we just went on a nice long run. Now, hopefully you've been noticing that our daily budget up here has been updating every time we add an item. Let's go ahead and delete our run real quick. You can also move it back and forth between days if you need to. This was something I ran into needing to do a lot, but we're just going to delete it for now, and we can see that our number went back down. So the idea behind this is that food is negative, so that subtracts from our daily budget, but then exercise adds. And for me, this was really helpful because it motivated me to exercise because I really like to eat. And so that was extra calories that I could eat in the day, and it wouldn't affect my cut because I was burning more, therefore I needed more. And so this is one strategy. You of course don't have to log your exercises, but this is what worked for me, and I wanted this built in to the app for myself. And that's really the core of the experience. Nothing too crazy, but just really good, solid fundamentals. Let's go ahead and go through and add a few more items for posterity. So maybe we had a decent sized lunch and we had a even more decent sized dinner. And maybe with dinner, we had a blue moon. Maybe we went out and, let's pretend like we really like blue moons. So we're going to go ahead and add that so that we can, record that whenever we have some. 164, not a super easy number to remember, but it's a good thing we added that because maybe we had to, oops, it looks like we exceeded our budget for the day, and we went 88 calories over. But that's okay because we walked home from the bar and recorded, let's say, about a mile, about 95 calories, and we are just barely above our daily budget. So that's actually really close. That's a really close number. So if you're hitting that, if you're within 10 calories, you're feeling pretty good. Now, let's talk about a couple of decisions that were made as part of this prototype. The first one is the colors that were chosen. I get asked this question around why didn't you just do red for food and green for exercise, because red is subtracting from our number and green is adding to it. And to really just, that's just where people automatically sort of start, is with this idea of red and green. And there's two reasons that I didn't do that. One is that I'm kind of triggered by red in apps. I'm really tired of the red circle with the white number. It doesn't make me feel good. And so that's one reason. The second reason is that I didn't want to stigmatize food. This idea that food is bad and should alarm you, I didn't want to lean into that at all. So the way I thought about this was that food is more of a passive activity. And so we're going to make this nice, tranquil indigo. And then exercise is a much more active activity. So we're going to do it a much more energetic color, which is this amber color here. Now, I would definitely want these colors to be customizable, both for color blindness, but also just because you want what you want. Maybe you love pink and purple and like all your apps purple, so I would allow that sort of customization. There also is a light mode of this that I've already designed. I will include a link in the description so that you can see more designs on my website. If you're viewing this on the website, then obviously just scroll down. But that's my thinking behind the color choices. The other question I'd like to address is why there is no AI integration. I did mention earlier in the video that I do have ideas and plans around how AI would be integrated with this, but I didn't start with AI because I think that apps need to have their fundamentals really locked in first. I see a lot of apps being rolled out where they are supposed to be AI focused, but really all they are is a portal to ChatGPT that's doing all the hard work. And I really think that apps that use AI should use it as something that incrementally makes their app better. And I think that's a huge incremental step. It can massively improve the experience, but you need to get your fundamentals right and understand your perspective and your logic before you dive into the AI portion. That said, I'm really excited by the work I've already done on this project in regards to AI. I'm hoping to refine that and make a video on that fairly soon. So if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'd love to share more, and thanks for watching.